Since it began a year ago, Thailand's youth-led pro-democracy movement has faced many challenges. Its top leaders have been arrested and the pandemic is keeping most protesters off the streets. But as Scott Heidler reports from the capital Bangkok, the movement appears to be regaining its momentum.
Jamming the streets of Bangkok, pro-democracy protesters out in strength to show their support of the growing call for the resignation of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. This is rooted in their deep criticism of how the government has managed the COVID-19 crisis. The nation is now facing its worst wave of infections and deaths of the pandemic.
The government has to ask itself when it looks at the people, who does it see? Are we the same continent? Your job is to serve the people. Do you see the value of the people?
1 year ago, a youth-led movement kicked off, calling for changes in the long-established power structures here in Thailand. Centered on the monarchy, the military, and the elites connected to them. The Prime Minister is an ex-army chief who first came to power in a coup. With a list of 10 demands, they called for deep reforms in the monarchy, a taboo subject here in Thailand where harsh laws aim to protect and preserve the crown's powerful position. But discussion of what was once taboo changed with the protests.
I think the discussion on the Thai monarchy movement is moving in a better direction. The issue is deep-rooted in our society, and we should be able to discuss it in public.
Earlier this year, there were arrests of the top protest organizers and a crackdown by the police. The protests became less frequent, and fewer people came out. To regain momentum lost over the last several months, mainly because of COVID, protest leadership have had to become creative with their gatherings like this car mob here in central Bangkok. But they have also had to refocus their messaging to appeal to a broader audience. As some don't fully support reforming the monarchy right now, organizers have focused on their call for the Prime Minister's resignation. Not abandoning crown reform, just tapping people's frustration with the government.
The democracy movement are seeing an opportunity to try to give a new flame into that struggle by using the government failure to provide efficient vaccine, to provide efficient health care.
And the flame appears to be growing, with a steady increase of COVID-19 infections each day and no indication that the shortage of vaccines will be corrected soon. People will likely have more reason to come out and call for change. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Bangkok.